Hey everyone, before we start the video, I do have a couple of things to address, and if you don't really care about any of this crap, then here's a timestamp so you can skip to the review. Nothing serious, just future plans. And I also didn't really want to make a separate video on it, because it's only going to be like 2 minutes. Yeah. So with that said, I should discuss the move. It's been 4 months since I made the transition from my last channel, Jayson Windmaster, to this one, and it has been a bit of a struggle. And I'm not gonna lie, I occasionally kept getting the feeling that I made the wrong call and should have stuck with the channel that had more Let's Play content than the days I was in high school. But since I started to move channels, I decided to plan out what I wanted to do, and while reviews and other scripted content will still be the main focus of the channel, that isn't going to change at all. I think changing the schedule might be a good idea. And by that, I mean making it non-existent. Here's the thing. Right now, I have a full-time job, as well as planning on creating web comments when I get the chance. So doing videos is going to be tough on me. I think I can get away with doing a video every 2 weeks, and that seems doable. And having the games I have planned being very easy to make will make it a lot easier than ever. On that topic for a second, I will announce that the planned Metroid retrospective will have to be postponed due to my 3DS capture card. It's been 2 years since it died on me, and I have been trying to get it working ever since. But lately my research has pointed out that it may have been poorly made and wasn't made to last long at all. That not only lost faith in the capture card, but I now know that Katsukity will forever be on my blacklist for their shitty hardware and shitty customer service. I recommend not even bothering with their products if you were even interested in the first place. I do have a series that will be replacing Metroid though, and it has been another series that I've been wanting to cover for a while as well. So it'll be fun at the very least, and I hope you guys enjoy what I have planned for the next couple of months. Anyway, enjoy the review of A Hat in Time, everybody. Man, 2017 was a great year for games, wasn't it? Mostly anyway. I didn't play many games from last year. In fact, many of them I didn't even play until super later in the year, or not until a couple of weeks earlier. A Hat in Time was one of those games where I didn't play it until its PS4 release in December, and even then I didn't play it until the last week of the year. I've been looking very forward to this game ever since around the time it got backed, and it's gonna be great to be checking it out now. To get started, you take control of an alien girl who the community has dubbed Hat Girl, so we shall use that name. She is off to go back home from who really knows, and is stopped by the Mafia to collect taxes for passing their town. Hat Kid tries to get away from the Mafia, but the Mafia busts into Hat Kid's ship, releasing all the timepieces that she uses for her fuel. This is the kind of stupid we're getting into, guys, and I love it. From there, you're off on an adventure to collect your precious timepieces, meeting new and interesting characters along the way. One of which is a girl with a mustache who wants to destroy the Mafia so she can get her home back. Though from the implications, she may not be all that trustworthy. Later on, we find out that the timepieces can actually control time, and when the mustache girl tries to convince Hat Kid to defeat the evil Mafia by messing with time, Hat Kid understandably denies her offer because controlling time is obviously a bad idea, and she really just wants to go back home. Mustache girl ain't having that shit, saying that she's gonna collect all the timepieces, but we never really see her again until the end of the game. Yeah, she is completely absent until then, and it's actually kind of odd. But we'll get to that later. It's clear that you have a situation, but I feel like the game is about the people you talk to, and the experiences you have while trying to fix it. 1 minute you're starring in 2 movies directed by each of the rival studios. You go to an underworld to deal with several contracts by the Dark Lord himself, and you explore an entire mountainside with deadly plants that want you dead on the spot. Sheesh. You have these places as well as time rifts, and those come in a couple of flavors themselves. You have stuff like an icy wasteland with thankfully no ice physics whatsoever, and you also have the time rifts that represent the world's gimmicks to a bizarre extreme. No matter the world, however, the level design is really strong and works to Hat Kid's abilities. Speaking of, controlling Hat Kid is pretty standard if you've ever played these kind of platformers. Jumping and attacking are about what you're going to be doing for the entire journey, but Hat Kid herself seems a bit floaty and can make some smaller platforms a little frustrating to deal with, but they're pretty rare for the most part. But the biggest part of A Hat in Time's gameplay are badges and yard balls. Shit, I'm getting a major bad feeling of deja vu. Okay, so it isn't like Bubsy at all, considering the yarn balls do give you hats that give you special abilities. My favorites tended to be the brewing hat to blow up stuff for pawns, these little orbs that contain health or money, and the sprint because of the freaking sprint. Though each are fun to use despite most of them tending to be pretty situational. The badges are also what make the game fun. Think of them as official in-game cheats or tricks like no fall damage, using a motorcycle instead of sprinting, or decreasing the cooldown for hat moves. Getting back to the worlds though, the characters in the game are absolutely charming as hell, some quite literally actually. From the dark and mysterious rumors from the Subcon Forest residents, or the Mafia being a seagull with their baby seagulls. Interactions with certain characters are neat as well, more so with the Mafia like this bit. Also, I must add, Mustache Gold wants to squeeze their juices in a jar, but we only kill the Mafia with non-lethal means. But of course, I can't forget the Snatcher, probably my favorite character in the game. He's so over the top and is so filled with ham it makes every moment with him fun and hilarious.
Oh wait, it's you.
If I had to pick my favorite chapter, it'd have to be the second part of Chapter 2. You're on the train before a big murder, and all of these murder of crows, I get it, decide to ask you a lot of questions like, what is this code on the billboard? What would your superhero name be? What would your pet's pet be? This kind of shit is so dumb. Then there's this question about what your least favorite body part is, and...
Oh, poor express owl. You shouldn't be ashamed of your...
Okay, I really shouldn't be playing these games, should I? But when the murder happens, you go over to one of the places where you're supposed to sneak around, and then...
The little girl had the ugliest...
To answer my question from earlier? No. No, I should not. And can I just gush about the bosses? These are the best bosses I've fought in a very long time. I'm going to be spoiling these just a bit, so skip here if you don't want to be spoiled. The Chapter 1 boss is a good fight where a lot of time jumps are required, and while the electric attacks are a bitch to dodge, it is so satisfying to stop him before he even unleashes it. So good. The Chapter 2 boss is with DJ Grooves, one of the movie makers who is fed up with losing to his rival the Conductor, and his boss fight is slamming on the floor, creating shockwaves with disco balls, and stabbing you with the knife. Seriously. Also in the middle of the fight, he just casually asks you to let him keep the timepiece and cheat his way to glory. And after you refuse, he actually attaches a bomb onto you. The guy is freaking psychotic, and I love it. The Snatcher boss in Chapter 3 is probably my favorite, with you requiring fast reflexes to avoid some of the fastest attacks and subtle patterns. And it's just a lot of fun in this fight, despite the fact that I've died about 20 times in the fight, but I don't even freaking care. This fight is freaking good. The last fight, I don't dare spoil, because it is one of the best final bosses I've played in ages. All I'll say is that it's a great fight in terms of its storytelling, and the stuff around it is just amazing. Plus, the ending actually gives me a bit of a tearjerker. Here's a screenshot of Hat Kid crying, you're welcome for the blurry eyes. And I saved the presentation for last, because just look at it! It's one of the most vibrant games I've ever played, very much like Wind Waker in its style actually. And while it isn't perfect, noticeably with the static faces of certain models, it still has that charm even with those present. And the music is just fantastic. The world music is great ambient but catchy tunes, the boss music is tight rock pieces that I can listen to for hours, and the title theme is just great, with a nice little interstellar vibe to it. The game also has voice acting, and I'm surprised at the lineup. John Jafari, Xander Mobius, Sungwon Cho, and Chris Niozzi as the voice director. This is some great talent for sure, and they make the world just come alive. Even Luke Sizemore, freaking Youngtown, is the voice of the Snatcher. Freaking awesome. This is an indie game that you cannot miss on. It is very similar to other platformers, but really, if you love platformers, just get it. Trust me, it's $30, and I dare say it's worth the price point. Unlike a certain other yarn-snatching character, you fleece-written, irritating little hairball of 90s trash. Yay! Just kill over and die already. A Hat in Time has certainly become one of my favorite indie games, in terms of its world and character alone. And with a great score and fun gameplay, it just makes it even better. I know it's not exactly perfect. I mean, some of the levels can drag on a little too long, the static presentation of certain models, as well as a couple of things here and there. But what's here is actually pretty fun. If you go and try it out, I don't think you'll be too disappointed. I know there were other things that I didn't talk about, like relics and rift tokens, but they don't really do much outside of new challenges and cosmetics for your skin, respectively. But they aren't just... Look at the alternate skin for the ice hat. It's just so damn cute. And I swear this cosmetic is a subtle reference to Thousand Year Door. I just know it. And if it is, damn, that's actually kind of cool. Nothing else to really say about this game, so I'll end it off here. I got another retrospective coming along, so until then, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll play with you guys next time. And no, the PlayStation 4 version does not have the Y achievement. I am just about as sad as everyone else.